The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What's going on, guys? Eric Sablon here with Burnt Phone Marketing, and I'm super excited. I have an amazing guest today. He's prior service as an Army Major. He's a premier real estate agent. He's got extremely high numbers on Zillow. I mean, 5-star ratings across the board, one of the best out there. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So if you're looking for 5-star ratings, he's got some ideas and some tips that might help you. He's a two-time Icon EXP Agent. He's a founder and broker of Alaska Realty Experts. Please welcome Travis McGrann to the show. Travis, welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I'm just excited to be here. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, no problem. I was super fired up. You know, it's funny that we were sitting in the office and I was like, maybe I should just get Travis on the show. And Jordan's like, yeah, do it. I'm like, all right, cool. So
absolutely. I'm game.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and when you said you were down, I was super excited. So, you know, I just kind of want to start off with a little bit about your backstory and how you got into real estate. And, you know, because well, first off, I want to say thank you for your service in the military. You know, appreciate that. And, you know, kind of what got you into that transition from being in the military to going into real estate?
Absolutely. No, thank you again for hosting me here. And I think that's a really good question. I'm going to have to think about which direction I want to go with that. But I did serve 11 years in the active duty Army, and then I served a couple of years in the Alaska Army National Guard. I'm currently in active ready reserve. I am rank of major. I guess given the call, I probably would in a time of need, I'd probably feel the calling to serve again. But I really loved serving. You know, wearing the uniform with pride and, you know, walking around. People thank you for your service. It was awesome. I loved it. I always knew there was something a little bit beyond the military for me, just because, you know, I'm a little bit wired differently. I'm an efficiency freak. And the military, of course, is not the most efficient structure. It gets the job done. It's all about the mission, but not necessarily results. So more of a results guy. I'm about the mission, but I'm also wanting to be about the results. So, you know, I just knew that there was a better way of doing things. And I was attracted to the private sector. My brother's been a really good example for me. He was 4 years active duty Army, and then he left and started a business, and he's been very successful in project management. So he kind of was a good example for me. But yeah, I mean, I just knew that there was something else. I into the sales world within the pharma industry. Mm-hmm. And of course, they've got excellent sales training and stuff like that. So it kind of broke the mold there a little bit. Went down to Southern California and got some great training there and lived that lifestyle for about a year and liked it. But then ultimately it came down to my wife. She was, we wanted to pursue a military retirement for her. She was so close. She's getting ready to retire here in about a week. So really exciting time for that. And so it really came time to where we needed to make a big move. And so she was coming up on orders and she needed PCS. And so it was Alaska. And so we kind of came up to Alaska and had no clue what we were going to do or what I was going to do. But went into a coffee shop and started applying for jobs and started talking to people, went to a gym and, start talking to folks. And it's just amazing what happens when you kind of create opportunities. and found out about real estate, and that's kind of the initial part of the story.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So congratulations to your wife also on her retirement. That's awesome. And thank her for her service. That's super cool.
Yes, she's the one. Whenever I hear about people in their military service and they're getting close to retirement or they are retired, I have a lot of respect for them. You know, I just always tell them, like, man, that's seriously something to be proud of. That's a commitment. You know, because not a lot of people can commit to 20 years or longer, and it's just amazing stuff. So she's really stuck it out there.
So you said you did pharma. So what was the, like, and you did the sales training. So how important would it be? I mean, because I always tell people that I was a C student on a good day. So
Yeah.
how important would it be versus, you know, because there's a lot of things out there right now that they're saying that, you know, self-training or self-education is better than regular education right now. What would you say to someone that's like, you know what, I'm just going to do some self-education and I think I'll be an expert?
You got to surround yourself with people who are walking the talk, and surround yourself with good people that you're going to learn good habits from. You can surround yourself with people and learn bad habits from them too, but you know, the experience and just being around people who are doing it, that's really important. But I think there is a lot to be said about educating yourself. There's a lot of stuff you can find online right now, and then you just kind of got to see what works for you and what's working for other folks, and just merge it into whatever it is that you think is your bucket to pull from. So I think there's just people learn in so many different ways. I know, you know, people's retention on educational stuff, it goes through the roof when they're in a comfortable environment. So if they're sitting at home in their jammies and watching a YouTube video or in a webinar, I mean, so be it. If that's the way you learn, then that's awesome. Frankly, that's the way I learn best. I like to get a little bit of both. I like to collaborate in person, but I find that I retain more if I'm in my environment where I can take notes and ask good questions. But, you know, I'm not worried about the donuts that are laid on the table or you know, the distractions that are in the classroom. So, I mean, to each their own.
Yeah, I would agree with you because I learn a lot when I'm kind of in my own zone, and then, but also, like you said, to collaborate with other people and kind of mastermind with the people. And I always tell people that, you know, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most.
I love that saying. Yeah.
And it's true. And I just keep trying to reach up. And if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. And that's another reason why I hang out at your office.
Well, no, that's been something really important to us. And we focus a lot on who we decide to associate with. You know, of course, we like to work with everyone. But, you know, as far as somebody that's looking to get into real estate, especially, it's like, you got to be a really good character fit. You got to be, you know, eager and have that zeal about you, have a solid moral compass. And, you know, we've been there, done that. The real estate industry is crazy. So, you know, you just come across all walks of life. And the more and more you just start to realize it's like really important to get shoulder to shoulder with people that talk the same language you do.
Mm-hmm. So I did some research on you, and you said you're a 2-time Icon EXP agent. So tell me how becoming, you know, with the, I wouldn't even just say with that level, because apparently it's super high up there. With that level being a 2-time, how do you think the transition went from aspiring to hit it the first time and then hitting it the second time? What were the things that you did to hit it the first time, and then the adjustments you needed to make to hit it the second time?
You know, that's a really good question. In this production, there's a production requirement. There's a cultural requirement. You have to give back to our community in some capacity. The first year I was with the company, I was simultaneously on military orders, and I was recruiting for the Alaska Army National Guard for the first part of the year. And I was also selling real estate. And so it was busy. But the first year didn't hit the production requirements, although it was relatively close. Didn't get Icon Agent. But as soon as I went full time and was like, you know, done with the military stuff as far as a full-time commitment, I was able to really dig in and focus. And then, so second year, no problem. The third year I was with the company, hit it too. It's kind of like muscle memory though. Once you start doing this stuff, you just get in your zone, and it's all about the good habits too. We do stuff that's simple as a daily activity record, where you're time blocking your day and tracking your contacts, making sure you're doing your follow-up calls. Time blocking your day by 30 minutes is huge. I find that when I am very disciplined with this, I have a lot more of a productive day. So just like really basic fundamentals of tracking your day and being able to look at this at the end of the day and knowing that you got some work done. You might have talked to 100 people. You might not have really thought you got something done, but if you can come back here and look at, I talked to like 15 people today about real estate, there's going to be some lag measures associated with that. So it's all about the lead measures that get to the lag measures.
So that's a really, so guys, when you're listening to what he has to say, he's tracking his time by 30 minutes. So what I do is I block out the whole day in the morning. I've been doing that with what's called the Miracle Morning. So I'll have time blocks where I have outbound calls, time blocks where I have certain things. And Grant Cardone says, if there's white on your calendar, that's not good. So fill that space, because if you don't fill that space, something's going to fill in there for you, and it's probably not exactly what you're looking for. And the other thing that he said that was really big was he wasn't there the first year, but he knew he had the rhythms in. And once the muscle memory starts to happen, you start to hit the goals that you're doing over and over and over again. And I've been into the office, guys, before, and he's on the phone, he's dialing, he's got a CRM system that's working, he's got a lot of automation that works for him. And actually, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about the automation that you're doing, because there's a lot of people on this podcast that aspire to do real estate or aspire to do sales or aspire to do this. And one thing that I found is in sales that most of the stuff tracks to every single, I mean, you started in pharma, then you went to real estate. I mean, most of the same tactics come and are mashable in all different areas and industries. So tell us like some of the systems that you're using right now. You don't have to go into all of your back office stuff, but like some of the systems that you're using that's helping you be the realtor that you are. Because like I said, you're really killing it.
Well, we want to kill it even more. So we've got some big goals. We're just excited. We're really blessed. I mean, just been associated with great people and great friends, great family. Past clients have been huge. So it does come down to some stuff like systems and processes, and that's kind of what I did in the military. I was a staff officer for the most part. I did serve command time and everything like that, but I was always briefing. I was always creating charts, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint. Everybody that's been in the military knows that it's PowerPoint every day. So, and thankfully, we're not doing too much PowerPoint. I don't think I've touched PowerPoint for like a couple of years, and it feels good. But checklists and standard operating procedures, SOPs, all that stuff. People think that the military doesn't translate sometimes, but it's all about what you There's a lot of organizational stuff that does. Maybe, shooting at the range doesn't necessarily, but maybe it does as far as home security or something. But you can always train some past processes. Yes, we do have a client relationship management tool. We are huge into the accountability piece of it. There's a back end that I can look at to hold myself accountable as well as team members. And it's not like a, hey, call you out kind of thing. It's like, hey, we know that you've got big goals. So like we're just saying you need to maybe make some more contacts and follow up on some of your clients that are in here. So the system will kind of tell on us a little bit. So if we're falling back on our lead measures, we need to catch up maybe the following week. And that's one thing that we've been really good about too, is just being consistent with our sales huddles that we do on a Monday morning, and we do that virtually. We don't do that in person. It's just better to share the screen, pull up the numbers. We track dials, contacts, appointments, how many pop-bys we've done, which if anybody's ever heard of Popeye, it's a Buffini thing. Brian Buffini is a big time real estate coach, and he's really big into, hey, I'm your guy, just swinging by. And I don't know if you knew this, but today's something on a stick day, and like we've actually delivered food on a stick to people and said, hey, check this out. Oh, by the way, I'm so that's so funny. I didn't even know there was something on a stick there. Just initiating those conversations and making it fun and easy. We track that stuff though. Handwritten notes. Those are super important. All that stuff. So we have the CRM. We have the sales meeting with our lead measures that we track. One of the things that's been pretty much a game changer for our business model is having a virtual assistant. You know, I was talking to my brother, who's, I think I mentioned it in the beginning, he's in project management, and I was telling him what my virtual assistant does, and he's like, I got to everybody needs a virtual assistant. Everybody needs one. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't even in real estate, if I was just retired, or if I was just doing anything, I would have a virtual assistant. Totally worth it. Just all those administrative tasks, sending stuff for signature, following up on admin things, and making sure that our files are in order and labeled correctly so that my eyes are drawn to where maybe something that we need to focus on instead of doing database management. You know, that is not a dollar productive activity. So if you can give that stuff to a virtual assistant, and, you know, these guys don't really cost a lot of money. You can, they're doing really well where they're at with what we're paying them. So they're very happy to be working with us. So that's been a big difference too.
Yeah. So what I liked what you said was you track all of your stats, and what you don't track, what you track always seems to, like the stats that you track always, you can find holes, you can pick up gaps, you can, and then you can also, it's a metric where you can scale those. So
exactly. You know, like the thing is if your contact goal, like most of our contact goals for the week are 30 contacts. If you have 30 contacts a week and you're having real estate related conversations, talking about location, price, motivation, you know, usually just those three things, then you're definitely going to be selling some real estate. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, then there's something else there that we need to focus on. So it's kind of a telltale thing. But you know, it's tracking those lead measures is huge. And so if you haven't met the 30 contact goal this week, that means that next week, like say you were at 25, that means next week you're hitting 35. I mean, so, because if you just keep on slumping off, you're not going to be hitting your end results, which is your lag measures, and your wildly important goal is going to be completely way off. So
and you're going to be at 8. And
yeah.
Everything's going to be super busy. Oh, I was so busy. There's so many things that I had to do. And
absolutely.
Outbound calls have been, so even in my business, outbound calls have been one of the things that I measure. I mean, we shoot for 30 outbound calls every Monday.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what it is, 30 on Monday.
That's great.
Yeah. And virtual assistants, guys, one of my mentors says, hire when it hurts. And it's not the who, it's the how, it's not the how, it's the who. So find the who's. I mean, they're out there doing that kind of stuff for you, and it's inexpensive. It's not cheap, but it's inexpensive for your time if you think about it like that. I like what Travis said. He said, that's not dollar productive time or tasks. So guys, just think about that when you're going through your files and trying to figure out where stuff is, when a virtual assistant could have that all dialed in for you.
Absolutely.
So the one thing that I want to talk about is so you have extremely high 5-star ratings on Zillow. And Zillow is like the one thing that I hear a lot of. What do you think contributed to so many of those? And if it's a secret sauce, you can just say it's a secret sauce. But what are the things that, because I think there was over 50 5-star ratings on Zillow. What do you think was that? And do you have a system, or do you have something that you do to get those? Because we tracked a couple other real estate agents in town, and they're not even close. They're not even in the same ballpark.
Just good habits was something that I started with. It was kind of a competition within the office. And, there was a buddy of mine, Greg, if he's ever listening, he was one of those guys that, he would get the video testimonial, and I was getting just the written testimonial and the video testimonial from somebody is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still something that I haven't built into that habit. He had a lot more confidence to do that. I just got in a good habit of asking, and I've got a canned email that I send to people, and I put a little bit of a intro to it to make it more personal, of course, but just making it easy for our clients. Feel free to copy and paste, post it into these 3 other links as well, and call it good. So always attempt to get the Google review, the Zillow review, the Realtor.com review, and the Facebook review. Make it easy. Hey, just no shame, copy and paste it. Just by the way, I've never received anything below a 5-star review. If there's anything that I need to work on that you think could have made the transaction better, just feel free to let me know about. These reviews really do help out, because we know that the consumer will actually weigh a online review even more than a word of mouth. Saying, yeah, you got to talk to Travis. Like, say one of my friends says, you got to talk to Travis. If they go on and see a review from a rock star realtor, nothing but 5 stars, they're probably going to go with the online review. There's a statistic somewhere on that one. So I always knew that it was going to be it's a good habit to get into. And of course, in our CRM, we actually automatically set a reminder about a week after the deal closes to send the canned email, and we personalize it a little bit at the top. So yeah, that's just been a good habit thing. It's all about those muscle memory, good habits thing. And when you know you provided a good service, just like anything, it's like you don't feel like you feel bad about asking. They're really important. Odds are they probably found out about us through the reviews. So much like you said that you noticed our reviews, there's going to be other people that look at that too. So we would really appreciate it. Thank you. So it's been great. I just can't thank people enough for those, and just good habits.
And I think nowadays that the reviews, like you said, the reviews are more important, because people are already stalking us before they're purchasing, before they're searching for a realtor. Like, I have so many realtor friends, but
Yep.
as I was looking, I was like, wow, this guy's, this person's real deal. This person's real deal. And they're all friends of mine, but you're looking for a transaction, and you're looking for a partner, and you're looking for someone that 5 years down the road, 8 years down the road, and that you can literally suggest to your family and friends because you had a great experience. And
Absolutely.
I love what you said about the system. You have an email, and it's canned, but you have an email that goes out to them to remind them to, hey, do a review. That is a nugget. Like the
Google canned emails. Google canned emails. If you don't know how to create a template with a Google email, I've got about 30 of them saved. I've got everything from recommended lenders to traveling the Alcan Highway to the testimonial requests to what to expect during a home inspection. You can just, because if it's labor intensive, you're just going to be that much more likely not to do it. So if it's easy and you just got to open up an canned email, boom, you're gonna do it every time.
It's like a check mark. I mean,
absolutely.
Systems guy, it's like boom, check mark. This part of the thing's been done. We're just waiting for them to come back.
Absolutely, it feels good to check stuff off the list.
Yes, me too.
I'm a checklist guy. I'm a
checklist guy. So you've been in the industry for how many years? Real estate industry?
Yeah, 6 years now. So, April of 2014. Yeah, so coming up on 6 years.
All right. So I like to ask this question. What would you have told yourself 6 years ago, before you signed up, before you took the test, before you did everything? What would you have told yourself 6 years ago that would have increased the speed of your business today?
Wow. That is tough, because there is a lot of trial and error that's just part of it. The OJT, the on-the-job training, is a critical part of becoming a good realtor, and just surrounding yourself with people constantly who are in the trenches working these crazy real estate transactions, and like listening to them, and and the frustrations maybe, or seeking solutions with them towards getting through a problem, and providing options to people. I feel like as a good realtor, you're really providing options to people constantly. When people feel like they don't have options, then they're really feeling like they're losing, and things go south. But if you're always providing options to people, even if they're not even the greatest options, but they're options,
right.
Like they feel empowered by that. So, surrounding yourself with people that are constantly doing that, solution oriented and providing options, it's huge. And my entry into real estate was amazing. It was a blessing. I got surrounded by amazing people. I came across my real estate coach back then, just because of word of mouth. I was working at a CrossFit gym, and they're like, you got to go talk to Wes Madden up in Fairbanks. And so I popped into his office, and we had the military thing in common. He was a Black Hawk pilot, and I was an Army MP. So we kind of hit it off there, both officers. So I got really lucky on my entry. Not everybody has that type of entry into real estate. And I do see people struggle out there, and it's frustrating to see, because I know that there's resources and there's people that want to help them. But they're just not plugged into that yet. And so I think if I could have done something differently, or from what I know now, I think I would weigh heavy on who I associate with.
That's a big one.
Before, when I entered, I was just like excited to be in real estate. I was just like, yeah, let's do this, and I think as you go on, you start to realize that maybe you're picking up some bad habits from people, whether it's real estate related bad habits, or it's just like, stuff that's not making you as efficient. For example, real estate's crazy, man. Like, you go get invited to go get drinks on a Thursday night. Guess what? That's affecting your whole weekend. You go have a couple too many drinks on a Thursday night. That's affecting your Friday. That's affecting your Saturday and Sunday. You're probably in recovery mode by Sunday, but you just wasted a couple of days.
Right.
I don't drink alcohol anymore. Very occasionally I'll have a drink or two, but that's been a big piece of my hockey stick kind of like growth with, serving families.
Wow.
I think as soon as I eliminated some of those bad habits out of my life, things really changed for me. And I give a lot of credit to God too for that one.
Yeah. And you always got to rely on that. Always got to rely on that. That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, right now, we know you're currently working on real estate. I'm actually going to I'm going to create you a landing page that basically will give them, the audience, where to find you on Facebook and where to find the agency. There'll be a link for that. And that'll be www.burnfieldmarketing.com/Travis. So everybody gets a landing page. So the last question I want to ask you is, here's the picture. You're walking off stage at the largest real estate convention there, like biggest one. You got to keynote, you got to do whatever, your vision is. What is the mic drop phrase that everybody remembers you by? When they turn around and they walk out the door, what's the one thing that you want them to remember you by?
I want to be remembered as somebody that never quit. I want to be somebody that's known to be resilient. And so, you can have it rain on you, but I think no matter what, that's how I want to be remembered. If anybody ever thought about me in in one sentence, I would say, I would hope that they would say, that Travis guy, he's pretty resilient. He's a pretty resilient guy. And so if there was something that I've done or something that I've said to people, that's what I would hope that they would take away from it, because it hasn't always been easy. There's been struggle. There's been a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I think it's just about rising through that stuff. And, it just builds character. It's all part of the process. the struggle just builds character, and you get smarter, you get wiser. And if you're not getting smarter and you're not getting wiser, that you got problems. You got some, because that's a cycle that's just pain altogether. So I would just want people to think that I was a pretty resilient guy.
Nice. That's resiliency. That's something that, what I love about that's something you can't teach. That's internal. Right. That's something that's like right here that people are like, well, just give me the 1, 2, 3s. Like, Travis, you're so successful. Give me the 1, 2, 3s. It's like, it's right here. There's resilience here. I continue to call. I continue to use the systems. I continue to wake up in the morning. I continue to do this, and this. That's the framework, but intrinsically it's right here. And that's basically what creates a successful person versus someone that's trying real estate. I'm not in real estate, but I can see it because I've interviewed a couple of people and I know the difference. And man, I'm super excited that you jumped on board. I'm fired up that I'm going to release this interview, because this interview was fire. So guys, again, I will do the Burnt Phone Marketing, www.burnphonemarketing.com/Travis will be Travis's landing page. You'll be able to link to his Facebook page, his personal Facebook page, and the agency page. So it'll all be there. If you're looking for real estate, there's a couple guys out there, and Travis is definitely one of them. And if you're looking to get more reviews, rewind back to kind of the middle of this, because he dropped some fire, he dropped some nuggets. And guys, remember, always listen to the full outro. Giving away a free course this time. So it's a phenomenal course. It's going to help you with your Facebook page and getting more, I wouldn't call it attraction marketing, but I'd call it getting more leads through your organic Facebook page. So thanks again, Travis. Appreciate you coming on board. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric.
Hey guys, catch you on another episode of Burnt Phone Marketing Radio. Talk to you soon.
Are you tired of not getting Facebook interactions on your posts? Or if you do, it's people that are already on your team or people that are already in your business? Well, we've solved that problem. We created a system that helps you generate leads on autopilot, climb ranks, promote your services, sell more products, and become a leader effortlessly without spamming your friends and family ever. So take our free 5-day course, go to www.burntphonebots.com and click the link, and we will see you on the other side. Again, that's www.burntphonebots.com. All right, guys, see you on the training.